Hi you guys, so now you've listened to two different read-alouds of the book A Bad Case of Stripes. So what our activity is today is to look at a couple of the story elements and make a little flap book. This is what our flap book is going to look like. Now I know that last week we did a flap book where we put characters and then the beginning, middle, and end. But another two story elements in fiction stories, fiction books are texts that have a beginning, middle, and end and characters. And what they many times have, some of the story elements they have is they have a problem and they have a solution. And in this case, A Bad Case of Stripes does have that. It has a problem, something that's wrong, and a solution, something that has to be fixed by the end of the story. So I'm going to go ahead and make this with you, and then we're just going to talk about it. So this is my finished copy right here, and you can see I fold it down, and here's my problem. Camilla was scared to be herself. She was worried about being different. That is the problem of the story, A Bad Case of Stripes. And because of that, she changes a lot in not good ways. What is the solution? How is the problem fixed? Poor Camilla, she has to go through a lot. But how is it fixed? It's fixed by Camilla's learning. A little old woman comes with Camilla's favorite food that has been refusing to eat because she's worried that kids will make fun of her. She's worried it's too different and other kids don't like it. She just wants to be liked by everybody. But she needs to learn a lesson. And she learns that Camilla learned it was okay to be different. She learned to be true to herself. And that means that she learned it's okay if I like different foods and other kids don't like it. I'm still gonna do that. I'm not gonna try to change and be different for other people. If it's something that I love, I'm gonna keep doing it. And so she actually fixed her own problem with the help of that little old woman who reminded her, hey, if you like lima beans, just eat lima beans, right? And the best friends will be friends with us even if we're different. Even if, hey, you don't like hummus, but I do. It's okay because we need to be true to ourselves and what we love, and we need to be okay with our differences. So these are two story elements we haven't talked about as much this year because we're always focused on beginning, middle, and end. But in the beginning, we find Camilla is presented with a problem, and at the end, the solution is she fixes it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make this little flap book. It's different from flap books we've made in the last couple of weeks. We're gonna have our paper where the long sides of the rectangle are going up and down like this. And at the very top, I'm gonna go ahead and write the title. So let me move my camera so you can see as I do this. Sorry, my office is very messy. Okay, here we go. So at the very top of my paper, I'm going to use a marker. You may use what you'd like. Don't make it big because we want it to be, the letters to be about this big. So maybe about the size of the top part of your finger. We're going to go ahead and write A, bad, with a capital B because it's the title of our book. It's a proper noun. B, A, D. Make sure your D starts with a C and then stretches up and down. Case is completely tappable. K, A, S, C, A, S, E. Again with a capital C, it's part of our title. And we use the C for the K sound instead of the letter K because it's followed by the letter A. Of, O-F. This is one of those tiny words that when it's in the title of a book, you don't have to capitalize it. Stripes. Now stripes we will want to capitalize. Let's go ahead and tap it out. S-T-R, S-T-R, I, that's I, P, silent E. So S-T-R, S, capital S, T-R, I, P, E, S. A bad case of stripes. There we go. This is what you should have. This is what the whole paper will look like, just at the very top. So now I'm going to fold the bottom to the top like this. I'm going to take the bottom and fold it up so that it's folded to the top, but I'm going to stop under the words. So see how when I'm bringing this paper up to fold, I go underneath the words of my title, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and crease it, which means push the paper down so that it's folded. And this is what I have. I have my title, A Bad Case of the Stripes, and then if I open it towards and I pull it down, it goes like this. I want to go ahead and cut this into parts. So I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to look at about the middle of the paper. It won't be perfect, but try to go to the middle and only cut the flap. Don't cut your title. So just cut the top flap, not the bottom part with the title. See? If you do, it wouldn't be the worst thing. It'd be fine. And then I turn it the right way, and I should have 2 flaps I can fold down. 1, 2. Perfect. Now after that, we're going to write the 2 story elements that we're working on today. Today, the first one is going to be problem. So start near the edge of the paper so you have enough room. Problem is 2 syllables. Problem. So let's tap out the first syllable, prob. P-R-A-B. P-R-O-B. I'm going to use a capital since I'm making like a fun book. P-R-O. Make sure your B goes skyline to grass line first, and then up and around, prob. Now the second syllable in problem is lem, O-E-M, L-E-M. Now solution is harder. So the first syllable, if I tap out solution, I go solution. It's actually like 3 syllables, and there's some syllables that I haven't taught you how to spell yet. So I'm just going to show you. Capital S-O-L-U, and then shun. The sound when you hear shun in a word is T-I-O-N. So this is what your little flap book should look like on the front. If I hold it up, I see the title, A Bad Case of Stripes. I see a flap for problem, which I can fold down and write what the problem is. And then I see a flap for the solution, how Camilla fixed the problem, and there will be a spot to write that. So let's go ahead and let's think about the story that we read. I'm going to get a different color marker. At the beginning, Camilla was trying to get ready for school, and she was really worried about what the other kids would think of her. She was worried about how she looked. She was worried about the food she ate. She was just worried about being different from the other kids. She wanted everyone to like her. But what she needs to know is that that wasn't going to make her happy. And so it actually grew into this terrible problem where she was changing like stripes and polka dots as kids shouted at her because she just couldn't believe that she could be what she wanted to be. So we're going to go ahead and start with her name, Camilla. She was the main character in our story. Camilla is Cam, C-A-M, L-I, L, 2 L's and an A. A is saying a sound, the schwa sound. Camilla was, see how I had just, I'm sorry, I kind of did that fast, but I just folded down problem, and I'm writing this sentence under the problem flap. Camilla was scared, sk, S-C, A-R-E, D. Now, when you're adding a suffix ed to a word that ends in a silent e, you don't have to put an ed, otherwise it would be scared. And we just want scared. So see how this suffix ed looks like it's kind of there together, when really this e was here for the a, to say air, right? Scared. So Camilla was scared. to be herself. Herself is a two-syllable word and it's compound. It's her, H-E-R, and the second part of the word, the second syllable is self, self, S-E-L-F. All right, if you were really fast at that, you could write a second sentence. You could write, she was worried about being different. I'm just going to stop at that one in case you're writing. So what we wrote is Camilla was scared to be herself. Boop. And we need to, of course, have a period at the end because it's a telling sentence. And Camilla needs to start with a capital C for two reasons. Number one, it's the first word in our sentence. Number two, the word Camilla is a proper noun because it's the name of a person. So that is our problem. That problem is introduced to us at the beginning of the story. We can already tell Camilla's very worried about what other people are going to think about her as she starts school. Sadly, it just gets worse and worse for herself. Okay, so fold the problem back up and then let's look at the solution. How does she fix the problem? So fold that down, and how she fixes the problem is that she went through some learning. Sometimes you have to have a hard, brain stretching time that isn't comfortable. It's really difficult, and sometimes you might have to keep trying. She had to learn that it was okay to be different. She had to learn to love herself. So we're gonna write Camilla again. That's our main character's name. Camilla learned. Learn is L-E-A-R-N, learn, and then learned, add the ed suffix, learned. What did I want us to write? It was okay to be different. It was, W-A-S, okay. We'll just put the letters. Sometimes people actually spell that word out, O-K-A-Y. You could do it either way. You could just put the letters. Lots of people spell okay that way. Some people add the A-Y. It's totally up to you. Camilla learned it was okay to, T-O-B-B-E, different. I'm going to have to go below because different is a big word. Let's split it into syllables. It will be so easy to spell. The first syllable is diff. It ends in F and it has an E, which means we're going to need a bonus F. Remember how F is one of our bonus letters? Diff. D-I-F-F. That's our first syllable, diff. Is ER. I hear that R controlled vowel sound. Ent. Ent. E-N-T. Boop. And that is our sentence. So our sentence says, Camilla learned it was okay to be different. And when she decided to eat that lima bean, everything went back to normal because that message taught her that, hey, you can like a food even if you think other kids don't like it. Even if they say, oh man, you're eating lima beans. Just be proud and be strong and be like, yeah, I like them. And it's okay for us to like different foods, right? We have to be strong like that. So this is our thought book. And the great thing about being able to identify when you're reading a story, the problem and the solution, is that a lot of times the solution will connect to what are we supposed to learn from the story? What's the message? And the message that we learn, what do you think we learn? It has a lot to do with how Camilla fixed her problem of getting all those stripes and polka dots and turning into plants and The message we learn is we have to just be okay being different. We have to be true to ourselves. There's a saying that Mrs. Lloyd likes, and I'm always trying to tell my kids about it too, which is just be true to be you, right? Don't worry if you like a different show than someone else. Don't worry if your hair looks different, or if you walk different, or if you talk different. Just be happy with who you are. And when you're happy and confident and you're like, yeah, I'm awesome, then other people will notice that and it will all be good. So that is the message we learn from this story, and we really learn it from being able to identify the problem and solution from this story. So I hope you guys had fun with this story. I think it's one of my favorites. It's got such an important message, and I think it also kind of teaches us at the same time that we need to be kind to other people who are different than us, right? Because those kids that weren't kind to Camilla, that was terrible. And it's hard to see that happen to someone. So even if it's just a character in a book. So I really love this book. I hope you did too. I picked those read alouds because there are a couple of people that I thought did such a good job reading that story. And if you have any questions, give me an email. Bye.